Hi everyone, welcome to the third part of our new series, How Formulas Were Derived. And in this part, we will see how the area of a rectangle is length times width. Now, if you guys remember that in the previous video, we saw that how area of a parallelogram is base times height, and then we saw that a parallelogram is nothing but is a part of a rectangle, or basically a parallelogram can be converted into a rectangle by doing little construction. And then we saw that area of rectangle is also base times height, and basically in case of rectangle we call base as length and height as width. So now in this video, in the third part, we will see that how area of a rectangle is length times width. Now, in order to understand this formula, or in order to understand its derivation, let's consider this grid over here. And as you can see that in this grid, there are a couple of squares, right? Now, let's say that each square has side of 1 unit. Let's suppose, I'm going to start from here. Let's suppose this square has its side of 1 unit. So this means that its area, this area is 1 square units. Okay, so this means that each square in this grid is of the area 1 square units. Now let's consider a rectangle in this grid. So let's suppose this is a rectangle. Let's suppose this is a rectangle under consideration. Now, if we see carefully, this rectangle has 3 squares along its length. So this side is its length, and along its length it has how many squares? 3 squares. And along its width it has 2 squares, 1 and 2. So along length this rectangle has 3 squares, and along its width this rectangle has 2 squares, right? Now if I had to find the total area of this rectangle, so that would be this portion. And we just saw that if area of 1 square is 1 square units, so and how many, we can simply count now that how many squares are there in this rectangle. So if 3 squares are along the length and 2 squares are along the width, so how many total squares are there? In order to find that, we can simply do 3 times 2. Total number of squares will be 3 times 2, which is 6. So there are 6 squares, and if area of 1 square is 1 square units, so area of 6 squares will be nothing but 6 square units. Now if you observe carefully that what am I actually multiplying? This 3 is what? If you try to find the length of this side, what will be this length? This particular length is 1 unit. Then similarly, this length is also 1 unit. This length is also 1 unit, because we saw that length of side of each square is 1 unit, right? So this means that this complete length is nothing but 3 units. Similarly, if I try to find out what is the length of each square along the width, this is also 1 unit, and this is also 1 unit. So complete length of this width is 2 units. So basically, when I multiplied the total number of squares, in order to find the total number of squares, I multiplied the number of squares along length and width. Basically, I'm also multiplying the length and the length of width. So basically, I'm doing nothing but I am multiplying the length of the rectangle by the width of the rectangle. So this is how the area of rectangle is derived, and I hope you understood this explanation. Now in the next video we will learn how area of circle. You all know that area of circle is pi times square of radius, but how does this area even come into picture? And this has actually connection with the area of rectangle. So in this video we will learn about derivation of area of a circle. So thank you so much for watching this video and take care. Bye bye.